Hello everybody and welcome back to Tarot Tuition here with me, Tarot with Anne-Marie. Hope you're having a wonderful week and looking forward to doing this card with you. So tonight we have this beautiful card, which is the Three of Wands. So I'm going to jump straight in and we'll get talking about this lovely card, Three of Wands. So what does it mean? Sometimes it's travel, sometimes it's about taking action, and sometimes it's about progression. A card of moving forwards. A man is standing on a cliff edge looking at sea and distant shores, and ships are sailing forth on those calm waters. They're on a voyage in the direction of distant shores, but the man is staying behind. He has sent ships to bring back good news and information from far-off lands and places. He's laying down the groundwork for his voyage shortly, and he must embark on a grand venture towards new worlds, for what he seeks cannot be found in his own domain. He will travel to meet it somewhere else. He's ready for action, but only some things are in place. Now, he might be waiting for certain news before he can make his move, so this man may need to exercise patience. Three wands are planted firmly in the ground, and he's gently leaning on one of them to his right, and the second to his left, and the third behind him, which is also on the right. The three wands play an integral part in this man's future, and he's brought them to the cliff top so that they may share his view, and he wants them to be part of it. The man is dressed in a high quality travel cloak. He is preparing for action and travel. The red colour of his cloak reflects his passion for life, his ambition, and his determination to succeed. There's a green mantle that's draped over his shoulder, suggesting his desire for success in the material world. Green also introduces earthly stability to fire. He now shoulders responsibility, or maybe commits to something. The blue on his right sleeve aims to remind him of his spiritual duty when taking action. There's a checkered sash, hard to say, a checkered sash of black and yellow, which is hanging diagonally on his cloak. And this suggests that he symbolises the possible differing viewpoints of others that he's involved with. If venturing with others, he must incorporate these views or options into the plan. Now, the sash may be coloured black and white in certain decks, and the wands, well, he's leaning on those, and there can be many representations of what that means, but it might suggest that he still relies on others' support, or that he needs help implementing his plans from other people. And the wand can suggest he's not on his own, and he has someone to turn to, someone on his side who wants what he wants and sees what he sees. Of all the wands depicted, the one that is closest to him, well, this is the one he is focusing on. And this could be maybe a particular person, but it could also reflect the need to retain some independence and his personal identity, regardless of the company that the wands represent. He might have joined with another or even others, but he's still his own person, and he'll want to assert that force. He is used to doing his own thing and going his way without being checked or cautioned. He's very confident. He may revert to this behaviour when confronted with perhaps resistance from others or disagreements. But this man is standing with his back to us, so we can't see his expression. But his shoulders aren't slumped. He stands confidently and he's assured. His physique appears strong and healthy. He's young, a pioneer, a maverick, and he's moved away from his past in favour of a dazzling future. The ones depicted at his back could symbolise what he's leaving behind, and it could be the life that's in the ace that he's outgrown, or his single status. What he leaves behind might also be his home, country, and his friends. Okay, I'm going to put on some keywords for you, and I'll be back in a moment. All right, and then we'll carry on. Right, so here's some keywords. So he might be leaving behind his home, his country, his family, and his friends. And he might not be able to escape something from the past. He might even want to return back to it. That wand might be significant on many levels. The Three of Wands can suggest a third party, not in line in any particular order in this image. There's two wands there, which are positioned quite far apart, and they're sharing equality. And the wand might be a secret third person in the background, someone flying below the radar, or someone who must be reluctantly accommodated. With several creations, the third wand can also symbolise the production of a union between the two main ones. If we look at the sky, it's dazzling with brilliant sunshine, and the man can see for miles and miles. It's a clear day. There's an impression of heat in this card, but there's some mountains and hills in the far shoreline, and that suggests challenges ahead, and everyone should be reassured about them for now, because the bigger picture is what's favoured, and this man is captivated by the vision that's in front of him, and he wants to avoid ruining this moment by worrying about the details of the future, even though he might be advised to do so. If he does worry, it might stop him or slow his progress, but it could also prevent him from making mistakes that he might later regret. He's optimistic about his success, and after struggling with the decisions and restrictions of the Two of Wands, in our previous card, this man's made up his mind about what he wants, and no one's going to stop him. So he's managed to free himself, and we can see that the bolt that was in the second wand in the Two of Wands has vanished. And now we have the third wand that's added to its collection. Now the third wand is symbolic because the number 3 in numerology and the tarot have potent associations with creativity, growth, birth, abundance, movement, and expansion. And the man has used the energy of the third one to drive his plan of action forward. He has combined the ace, which is wand number 1, with the duality of the other two. And that's the Two of Wands that we studied. And this is unleashing a powerful force of 3. So it might be difficult and frustrating, but the third wand has built a powerful momentum which has taken on a life of its own. Progress is now happening with little or no difficulties, and the 3 forms a natural triangle, and with that triangle it's a symbol of the element of fire when it's upright, which of course the wands are, but if left unrestricted, things grow upwards and outwards. And so this is a card of seeking to travel and expand territories. So using the energies of the element of fire and the number 3, he can go wherever he pleases. So it's bound to keep him happy for the moment. The bright yellow sky and the sea remind us of distant exotic lands. And this is where the man might have set his sights. So we know from the 2 of Wands, because he was holding the globe in his hand, that his world, although perfectly fine, had got too small for him. And he had seen it and done it all at that stage. So he was looking for something to reignite his fire. And the decision processes of the 2, in the 2 of Wands, is now behind him. And so now he's putting his plans into action, and he's moved forwards in great leaps and bounds. And so he's climbed the top of a hill or a mountain to get a much better view of this bright new world and overseeing what he has created or given birth to. Now he's quietly watching the ships below come and go, but still be assured that the fire within him is burning like a furnace. He has set sail on those ships to carry goods and information back and forth to the new world. And he has a big plan, a vision of what will come and all that it might be. So the ships symbolise that fantastic voyage of discovery that he's embarking upon. And this voyage will take him to exciting places to discover new cultures and new lifestyles. He'll gain direct experience of how others conduct business and products that he's only ever dreamed of. And so he'll meet interesting people who will inspire him and, of course, encourage him. And hopefully he'll bask in the heat of his glory and come into his own power. He is now seen in a position of command and authority as he looks out over his business, because the ships are symbolic of trade and commerce, and this man might have turned his attention overseas, expecting to expand on maybe an existing business. So he plans to expand into new horizons and territories and explore foreign markets. He may well test the waters by researching the market and looking on the internet for ideas. And he might visit many places before finding the most suitable ones for his venture. We know this from the ships that's riding the rough seas to carry their cargo back and forth so that trades can flourish. But today, our boats are built to withstand that extreme weather and rough seas, and we can rely on them to dock safely. However, many years ago, individuals or business owners took a lot of significant risks sending out large consignments of goods by sea, and many fortunes and lives were lost because ships sank with the cargo during storms and disasters. So the man knows well in this card that he's taking a gamble by sending out his ships to sea. Unlike, when we get to it, the Pentacles colleagues, he's happy to take risks, whereas the Pentacle family are much more careful and they're much more grounded, and they need to study things in a different way. And he's taking a long view and looking at the bigger picture. He's very optimistic and confident of a positive outcome, and he's looking beyond immediate circumstances, and he's prepared to move fearlessly into unknown territory and into uncharted seas. So this is positive and powerful for success and good fortune. But of course there is a note of caution with that, because the man desires to run and not walk at this stage. He needs maybe to pay more attention to the small details of the situation. Significant aspects might be overlooked, which might affect his long-term success. And the last thing he wants or needs is to be stopped by negligent oversights. Some key words for this card are travel, emigration, relocation, excitement, adventure, foreign lands of course, growth, development, moving forwards with plans, taking a step in an entrepreneurial direction, seeing the big picture, sunny disposition, going to make it happen, overseas relationships, long distance relationships. So the Three of Wands is a very powerful card for travel, as you may have just heard. And if it's found alongside cards such as the Eight of Wands, another travel card, Knight of Wands, another travel card, Six of Swords and Temperance, all travel cards, it depends on your spread and your question. Travel can be related sometimes to holidays, not just business, or even relocation. And you might not be travelling that far, but Three of Wands often brings us to distant lands and hotter, sunnier climates. The Three of Wands suggests growth, movement, expansion, and development. Our life has changed gear after the Two of Wands. And when this card appears in a reading, it brings success and good fortune. So you might feel excited and enthusiastic about a project of yours or a venture that you're working on, so that the creative forces can start to flow unhindered. The Three of Wands is also associated as a card of emigration. And we saw in the Two of Wands the dilemma of whether to stay or whether to go, stay with what was familiar and safe, or whether to make the decision to take a chance of moving on to something new and challenging. And it's the decision part that often paralyzes us, and that's what gives us the pain. However, once we've made a decision and it's eventually reached, it's usually a great relief for us and for those involved with us. Because instead of worrying or wondering about things, everyone now knows the plan and where they stand. So this is a card of making accurate plans, and they must be made, and a card of action, because we are in the Wand family, which is the suit of action, and very much about the excitement and the adventures that often replace worrying thoughts or doubts. So this is a card of being happy with your decision and prepared to take a chance on a new life. It's a card of feeling very optimistic about the future and enthusiastic about your new home or your new life even. And if you've been trying to break away from something that's troublesome in a situation or even a painful past, this is a card indicating that you're liberating yourself and moving on and forwards. It's a card of highlighting that when you're ready to move on with your life, you can turn your back on the past, because you're starting to see something completely different and new. It's about making that decision of what you might be letting yourself in for, and prepared to give it a go and take that risk anyway. This is a card where the big picture is what counts, especially now. And whatever you've been working on is starting to take off, and results are beginning to show. And the future looks bright. Look at those colours, especially from where our figure is standing. And the Three of Wands brings with it personal power and becoming aware of your place in the world. It's a card of tremendous growth and personal development. So are you ready to spread your wings and take on the whole world? Because a lot can be achieved under the influence of this card. Life and the situation are starting to progress nicely now. Just remember to pay attention to the mundane day-to-day issues, as they will need to be addressed. If this card is in a reading about love and relationships, So in a relationship spread, the Three of Wands is a positive card for relationships because it's suggesting growth and development. A fledgling relationship might be developing into something more. You might decide that the third wand is introducing another member into your family and that you're trying to start a family. You might be able to move past any of the troubles that you may have been experiencing. And so the Three of Wands can also suggest that a partner's been met while travelling overseas or from a different culture or abroad. So these three wands often highlight long-distance relationships. You might be in a relationship, of course, with somebody of a different nationality or culture. And as a family, the Three of Wands suggests that maybe you're looking at immigration. If this card comes up in a future or tarot's advice position, it's telling you that you can free yourself and put everything behind you. If you are experiencing separation or leaving a relationship behind, like a divorce, Three of Wands, it's very positive and healthy. It shows that you're progressing and you're starting to interact with your life again. And it suggests that you're making a fresh start, creating things. So this new start could also mean moving and a new location, or maybe just taking a holiday. If this comes up and the question is about career, in our career spread, the three would suggest working overseas or looking to cast your net further to foreign lands or companies, looking for employment or looking to be able to manifest your business and connect with further afield. So this card often highlights the search before we take action and checking out any opportunities for your career in other countries, maybe through the internet. You might have decided that you are going, but you haven't actually decided where you're going. So the man's standing atop the hill and he's looking down at his territory while he sends his ships out to sea. And this card can indicate that your travel is in connection with work or to advance or further your career. So you might be exploring new careers or job offers with links to overseas. You might have a transfer or applied for a transfer to a different branch or overseas, or within the company that you actually already are currently working for. So don't think it's always a change. It might be, I want to actually move and go and work in this country, but for the same company. So you might turn your back on an outward career because this is a card of saying that you're being inspired and excited in your search. So the Three of Wands is a card, as I mentioned earlier, hence the ships, that is connected to shipping businesses and foreign export. It's a very positive card for jobs and careers. It's all about growth, expansion, development in those key areas. In business, the Three of Wands can suggest you're trying to expand and enter new territory or market some new products. So you might have decided to test your products on a foreign market or look overseas for inspiration. Indeed, you might be thinking big and ready to make your move. You might take the necessary steps to open a branch in another location or even relocate your business. So you might travel backwards and forwards from one destination to another to meet potential clients that will help your business expand. So this is bound to be an exciting time for your business, and you've got some very big plans for the future. Don't forget to keep an eye on the company that's around you, because we can take our eye off the ball and let things slide. So the Three of Wands is showing this man in red and green robes standing on a cliff with his back turned. Three Wands stand firmly planted on the ground, showing his commitment and his plans. And he's left the comfort of the castle that we saw in the Two of Wands, and now he's in a vast open space looking out over to sea and looking at those distant mountains. He's looking at those three sailing ships as they pass by, which is symbolic of movement and progression. And from his high vantage point, he can see how the land lies, including any challenges that may be coming and any upcoming opportunities. So when we look at the Two of Wands, looking at planning for the future from a place of safety and comfort. But the Three of Wands shows that your plans are now well underway and that you're considering more with your current strategy to go with even more opportunities to maximise your ultimate potential. So this is thanks to solid preparation, ongoing drive, and everything is progressing steadily as expected. So the Three of Wands signals a lot of opportunities to broaden your horizons through study, travel, business, enterprise, and of course learning. And you're becoming more aware of the opportunities that are around you right now, and there's loads more to come. So it's telling you to take advantage of this potential, to stay committed to your path, and be prepared to stretch beyond the comfort zone, knowing that your best hopes lie outside of your current environment. It's a time of thinking big. You've got to consider what you can do to open doors for self-exploration and for more development for yourself. So this is a card that's encouraging you to dream more significant than your limitations, to accept your vision and be confident that you'll achieve it. The Three of Wands highlights the changes and challenges that lay ahead. And given that the man in this card can see far into the distance, likely to be aware of the upcoming developments and obstacles, and then you can be forewarned and prepare for them. The image of the land and sea in this card can sometimes, obviously said, point to overseas, over water, travel, this kind of thing. It's symbolic of being adventurous and to venture into unknown places and undiscovered territory, and to learn more about yourself and learn more new things. You might also want to explore international job opportunities, career, work and finances. Well, in work-related readings, the Three of Wands suggests that there's an overseas job or training being offered, and an opportunity that's going to become available to you, which will allow you to expand your skills and find or create your success. If you're job hunting, the Three of Wands is a positive sign that new opportunities are accessible outside your current organisation. There are things that will fit your skill sets that will surprise you if you look online, in the newspapers, etc. Even if you're reasonably happy in your present role, see what else is out there, because you might find that perfect fit and opportunity by looking. If you're thinking of starting a new business, well, the Three of Wands is an excellent sign to consider overseas or global markets and join forces with other like-minded individuals. So this is the card of trade, enterprise, industry, and it denotes success in these fields. Right, I'm going to have a sip of water. Any questions, anybody? Do say hi if you want to ask a question. Okay, I'll carry on. So, joint ventures will strengthen your position in the financial world. And if we're in a financial reading, the Three of Wands suggests that if you want to expand your portfolio to include investments overseas or opportunities, that this is a good sign. So you've got the potential to earn more as long as you are using your vision and foresight to do the groundwork. Three of Wands as a personality are bold and they're capable of looking long distance into the future, and they foresee opportunities. They're often well-respected leaders because of their visionary abilities, and they're successful at bringing other people along in their journey. And so these threes are fearless in entering unfamiliar territories, mainly because they see an opportunity that's got some excellent potential, and they love travel and they love exploring new cultures. If you're looking for love and relationships, coming back to that one again, everybody likes that one, the Three of Wands encourages you to expand your horizons and opportunities for finding romance. Maybe by moving, travelling, or learning something new that will take you out of your normal zone. And so this card is about seeing beyond your immediate environment and opening yourself up to other possibilities. And you might be trying internet dating or cast the net wider to find the right person for you. If you're already in an established relationship, the Three of Wands shows that your plans align well with your partner's. So you're both interested in maybe some travel or engaging upon further development in education. You might even have some business ideas together and deciding that you might collaborate it so that it becomes a reality. So this is a three that's bringing everything together like the two minds to create something new and broaden and expand your horizons. It's a very positive sign for the relationship's future. If the relationship is struggling and the Three of Wands comes up, it can highlight the need for a third party to intervene or assist, maybe like a mediator or counsellor. And that person's support might enable you to see a different perspective or more positive future and get yourselves back on track. It may help you to look at your partnership as a journey of the ups and downs. You might be going through a rough patch, but with some perseverance, this card shows that you'll soon find those calm waters. Might be the suggestion of this card in its travelling, so a trip away together might be what you both need. When the Three of Wands arrives in a spiritual reading, it shows that you are creating an extraordinary journey, quite sacred actually, and this might be to a faraway place, going on a trip to learn about a new belief system, to find yourself, or a more symbolic quest to discover your inner spirituality. You're not looking for a quick fix if this comes up in spirituality. This is a card of saying that the key matter here is you want long-term spiritual enlightenment. The number 3 in this card is, in this case, about growth, creativity, and productivity. And so it's a card of good choices and decisions have to be made. It's a card of telling you be confident in what you wish to do. You probably know what you want, so only go for it if you can see the bigger picture. It's about getting ready to step forwards as your plans for the future are starting to be underway. And the Three of Wands shows confidence in decisions and that you know what you want. By moving with your ideas and your plans, you will not undo any of what you've already built up, but you'll add to it generously if all goes well. If you've made a choice, then this card shows that good decisions have been made. And if you've got a goal in mind, the rewards are in sight because you've done all the groundwork. So you can move forward with plans as long as you are focused and patient. Everything will have enough momentum to carry you forward, allowing you to be able to think about the bigger picture of where you want to ultimately end up, leaving you able to set longer term goals. So you're in the middle of an idea, a plan or a project that you're passionate about, then there's plenty of creative energy available in this card telling you that it'll lead to success in what you're working on and your creative undertakings. Although continued hard work will still be needed, but it will be viewed as a welcome challenge because you've been inspired through your ideas, and this is what's brought you to this point and where you really wanted to be or wish to be. So plans are underway when we get this card. The Three of Wands generally gives a feeling of satisfaction based on achievements as you wait for your ships to come in, and you are creating your pathways with dedication. Any partnerships that are forged in this time suggest that they'll be healthy and rewarding, and leaderships will pay off. So if you're wanting to direct a situation or maybe a relationship, it's showing that it'll be received enthusiastically, and overseas travel or dealings can be shown, especially if it's linked to your choices. So that's it, folks. Thank you so much for watching, and I know that you want to ask questions, and we've not had any tonight, so you can always type them in to the comments in my YouTube channel. If you've got anything there, Two of Wands and Three of Wands, very similar cards and sometimes can be a bit confusing, but I hope that last week's tutorial has helped you know the difference between the two. Okay, but anybody wanting some basic key sort of notes, don't forget I've got PDFs that are 78 cards in this one, and they're professional keywords. So if you're looking to actually go more gently, think about the PDF, and of course courses are there, and I do have my podcast. And if you've missed anything in our series about the 78 cards, there's the playlist. And so that's only available on my YouTube channel as a podcast, playlist, call it what you like. Okay? Thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks for your company, and I hope you enjoyed that card, as in there's a lot to it, isn't there? Until next time, I'll see you soon. Have a brilliant Friday tomorrow, and a super weekend. Look forward to your company again next week. Until then, bye for now.